I knew where I wanted a tattoo, but no idea what I wanted. You can't even compare. It was about what went into it, the direction, the consulting with them. No other artist I ever got tattooed from gave me the opportunity to kind of brainstorm about the tattoo, you know.
When you're sitting there in that chair, it's just you and him, and he's not focused on anything else except the work he's doing, and the personal relationship that you build in that chair is pretty amazing. You know, he makes you feel real comfortable because he's a true artist in the sense of the word. You know, there's nothing traced or bought from a magazine or anything. It's just all from his mind.
My first impression of James was he was really cool, but he really cared more about my ideas on the tattoo and what I wanted and what he could put into it. You go in there and he designs a tattoo specifically based on you, your personality, what he thinks you'll like, and everything that you've told him.
I don't want to give good tattoos, I want to give great tattoos. I want to give amazing tattoos. I want to give tattoos so that people stop my client on the street and go, oh my God, who did that? I make sure I preface it with, it's not a sales pitch. It's not like you come in here and I got some sales gimmick like the car dealership trying to get you to go buy a car from them. I love it. I love it, and I have that much. It obviously just keeps coming up because I'm that passionate about it.
I was going to art school in the early 90s and wasn't happy with where the curriculum was taking me in that direction in life. So outside of school I was skateboarding, getting tattooed whenever I could afford it. And my artist at the time liked my work and offered me an apprenticeship. No one I knew had any tattoos growing up. I think what interested me in tattooing, or tattoos themselves, is just the skateboard culture. There was a couple professionals who stood out and had good ink. That was pretty much what got me started into it, was finishing art school, not really liking the direction of graphic design and sitting behind a computer. So tattooing seemed a lot more fun at that age. My first tattoo was on my mother, and I'm pretty sure I was nervous, but I don't remember it. I don't remember the nerves part of it, I just remember the excitement of I'm now in a new world and I'm doing permanent art on people. So that was more exciting than whatever nerves I felt. After that, it just snowballed, started tattooing all the time, and it was really fun back then because it was completely new, completely. And being young and finding something that clicks with you right away is what a lot of people are looking for, and I found it early, so I was happy. At first, they were hesitant to my jumping into this field. I do remember them asking, this will just be temporary, correct? My dad went from someone who does not care for tattoos, actually kind of put down the rules that we're not allowed to get them, to now he is excited because I've gone beyond just someone who traces something off a wall. Now he tells people who ask about his sons, he says, my son just creates art on people, and beautiful art. 2.5 years ago, I was riding my motorcycle to work like I did thousands of times, same exact streets and everything, and one day someone decided to, they could make that red light and they couldn't. So I woke up a month later after some time in a coma and then some time recovering from it, but I literally became conscious and remembered things a month later. To sum it up quickly, it was a really, really serious and traumatic accident, and I had what the doctors say is a miraculous recovery. I did question my tattoo career after that, but when you have head injuries that traumatic, I think that you question a lot of things in life, not just your job. The one thing that I realized after the accident was I didn't have like a moment of clarity where I just said, oh my God, I'm alive. But I did realize that I settled too many times in life, and that I needed to, in order for me to be happy, I needed to do what my heart told me to do. I was ridiculously determined to get on this journey right away as fast as I could. So we sold our house and we jumped in feet first into moving here. We bought this house and started the studio. There was something about Portland and Maine that I loved the history of it. I loved just everything about the state so far. I really enjoy. And it was also seemed like a good place to start the journey I wanted to with my studio. And it's been definitely not only a good change, not only what I needed, but a scary change as well, because I went from being booked out many months and being just sought after for my work to jumping into a town that no one knew me or could care less if I opened up a studio. So I had to make that same mark on Portland and the Portland area. Up until I found this new chapter, this new path with my studio, I didn't, I questioned if I would be doing this forever. I was always looking for other ways to express myself and be happy in life. And it wasn't until I got here that my feet were solidly planted on the ground. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing this forever because I have the perfect environment to create the art that I want to do now.
A lot of times I come up and I put my headset on, my headphones, and just kind of get in my world, my own little world, and relate a lot to what the art is supposed to be. This one right here that I'm sketching is a client by the name of Pat, who I've done a half sleeve for him already, and he wants to continue around to the inner part of his bicep so that his half sleeve is then complete. He's actually survived cancer twice, so there's a lot of meaning in this piece. The outside of his arm has an angel kind of looking at his hands, and then he has a reaper, kind of just to show what he went through and what he survived. But this one, he wanted a second angel for the second time he beat cancer. And this one is supposed to be a little bit more vengeful. I pretty much put myself in his shoes. Okay, I survived cancer twice. How would I want to then show that through this? I'm only bringing the sketch so far. I like to make sure that they're on board. So I get it to this point, which pretty much shows what's going on. Every once in a while, sometimes if there's not enough, I'll show them with some shading, just roughly how it's going to be shaded, just to show them the depth. But this is usually as far along as the first sketch goes. He wanted a second angel to show how he beat cancer, so I figured have an angel that, I don't know, was ready for battle and had done battle for him. And he's kind of wrapped up in this chamber, so to speak, because the top half of his arm is biomechanical, which is pretty much just if metal was organic and continued to grow and have a therefore life of its own. So this chamber around him has just kind of enveloped him. He's got these kind of spikes just to show that there's more to him than just being an angel. He's, however you want to translate it, a defender,
and therefore he's also wrapped in his own wings as well. It'll take a lot more than what he's gone through to really get to him. That's the basic idea of what's going on, but he can look at it, anyone else can look at it and get their own interpretation out of it.
I love to build relationships with my clients.
Most of my work he's done, thank God. Yeah, the paw prints are my favorite. He did that one too. And then this one's actually a photo of my mom and I when I was 1.
I try to get to know them as best I can because that's going to help me design their tattoo. I want it to fit that client, so we sit down and we'll go over some ideas.
Because I'd like to get some more color just in general, and I like the blue of the water. But if you think it's going to look bad that way, then skip it.
It's not that it's going to look bad, it's just that you can't, our skin can't hold our tones on us. Like, it won't show that definition very long.
I figure out what the restrictions are, not just for the images, but size-wise, where it's going to go.
If your gut instinct was on your chest, though,
That's what I was thinking.
Then
That's
that's
the
where it
first
should
thing
go.
that I thought.
always say go with your gut.
I get tired of the term amazing, but I just want to do amazing tattoos. I just want to do the best tattoos I could possibly do and make the client really comfortable in the studio. Most of my clients, once they get to know me, of course, they know me as a straight edge tattoo artist, but most people, when they first meet me, they definitely do a double take, because finding a tattoo artist who's never drank, who's never smoked, never done any drugs, they're like, wait, what? That's not what they expect out of a tattoo artist or a tattoo shop. Growing up, like I said earlier, I skateboarded a lot, and I read an interview with a professional skater who I actually wasn't that interested in, but he was very, very prominent at the time. And I was 10 years old, and in his interview he said, yeah, I don't need drinking, I don't need alcohol or any drugs. It just doesn't make any sense. And at 10, it left a really, really strong mark on me, because I remember making that decision at 10 years old. All right, well, cool, I don't need to either. Now, I'm sure we could all think of friends or young people who have said those things, but it really stuck with me. I instantly just got wrapped up in that movement, because it was not only, it just seemed like, wow, there's more people who are doing this. It's not just me by myself. When I was approaching my 20th birthday, I decided that I wanted to get a back piece. After being, well, at that point, drug and alcohol free for my whole life, 20 years, and straight edge for 5 years, I decided I had proved to myself that I should then get a straight edge tattoo. I drew up this X, and the top half is roses, the bottom half's thorns. I don't know if it's changed since then, because I don't put that much thought into it, but at the time my thinking was life's about 30% roses, 30% beauty, and the rest of it's hard work, hardships, whatever you want to call it. So on my 20th birthday I started that. It took about 6 months. That back piece is what started my career, I should say that. I spent so much time with the artist that gave me my apprenticeship that tattoo right there got my foot in the door, so to speak, with that artist and with the industry. I take the core group of things that are in my life very seriously. Since a tattoo is permanent and these things in my life will be permanent, I figured they go hand in hand.